Today we've got the Ichiban Kuji X Devil's Dragon Kaido, which released in 2021. And I've always loved Kaido's dragon form, so this was just something I had to have. He's a bit under 8 inches tall, 9 inches deep, and about 9.5 inches wide with that mustache going out so far. And he weighs 1 pound 12 ounces. So first let's take a look at the bottom of the base. It says Bandai Spirits, made in China. And it's a pretty wide surface area, which makes it pretty much impossible for him to tip over. I think the only way that he would fall over is if your shelf fell over. So he's got 3 pieces. The whole body and the cloud base is one big piece, then the other 2 pieces are his mustache. And he's got 2 holes right here which are shaped differently. And that tells you which side of the mustache to put in which hole. Just match up the shape of the peg with the hole and they'll go in. I found the right side on mine stays in a lot tighter, while the left side is pretty easy to knock off, but as long as I don't touch it, it stays in fine. Kaido in his dragon form is pretty long, so I guess their way of dealing with that was to make him all coiled up like this, which I think looks pretty good, and he's kind of bendy, like look at the tail, horns, pretty much everything. And looking at his scales, they have this kind of organic look to them. I really like it. I think it kind of gives it its own style. And then we can see his purple coat here, which looks pretty good too. And for the flames around his arms, they decided to go with just a gold color instead of making them actually colored like flames. But I think it looks fine, it doesn't really bother me. And then over here we can see the tattoo on his arm going all the way into his chest. I think this looks pretty well done, I like it. And the scar looks great too. I really like how it's actually etched into him. Then we've got his arms, he's got the 2 in the front here. Then if we go down over here, he has 2 more. And now for the face, and I just love it. I think it looks great. Also, I really like the way they detailed the horns with all those lines in them. Then we can see his huge mane from the side, which I really like too. I mean, you could see it from anywhere. The front, the side, just looks good from anywhere. Now back to the face, and the paint job on the face just isn't too great if you zoom up on it. The teeth look pretty messy with little holes in the paint, and the eyes don't look too great either. Overall, the whole paint job doesn't have much nuance to it. It's pretty flat and kind of chalky looking. And he has all these little dots going along him, which should be colored like a kind of turquoise color if you look at this other Dragon Kaido I have. And he does have quite a few seams throughout his whole body, but on a figure like this, it's to be expected. Definitely some areas it could have been better in, but it's still my favorite Dragon Kaido figure. I actually almost missed out on getting this one. By the time I decided to order him, he was out of stock pretty much everywhere. But Otakumo still had a few, so I ordered him from there for about $74. And I'm glad I did because his aftermarket price is getting pretty high. It's hard to find him for under $150 these days, but it isn't impossible. So it's a good thing the Figuart 01 is coming out. I mean, I guess that one is about $150 to $180 depending on where you get it, but it's bigger than the Ichiban Kuji Kaido, about 4 inches taller, and maybe it'll have a better paint job. So if you were going to spend $150 to get this on the aftermarket anyway, then it might be worth it to go for the Figuart 01 instead. But I actually like the Ichiban Kuji one better, so it really just depends on what you like. What they really need to do is make a portrait of Pirate's Dragon Kaido. That's one of my most wanted figures.